blood under the quiet. There's weight behind my eyes. There are things I learned to bury just to make it through the night. I don't wear it like a warning, I don't show it like a scar. I just keep my hands from shaking when the memories go too far. Nobody asked the silent man what it cost him just to stand. Nobody sees the years he hides underneath the steady stride. There's blood under the quiet, but I still carry on. There's pain inside the morning, but I still face the dawn. I lost more than I speak of, I held more than I should. There's blood under the quiet, but the quiet kept me good. My father taught me work was prayer, even when no hope was there. My mother taught me how to smile when the hurt stayed for a while. I watched the years take what they take, watch strong hearts quietly break. Some wounds never make a sound, they just learn to settle down. I used to think I had to win to be a man inside my skin. Now I know some men survive by keeping one small flame alive. There's blood under the quiet, but I still carry on. There's pain inside the morning, but I still face the dawn. I lost more than I speak of, I held more than I should. There's blood under the quiet, but the quiet kept me good. I don't need the world to see the nights that took a part of me. I don't need a crowd to know how far a tired man can go. If there's mercy left for me, let it come down quietly, not like thunder, not like flame, just enough to keep my name. There's blood under the quiet, but I still carry on. There's pain inside the morning, but I still face the dawn. I lost more than I speak of, I held more than I should. There's blood under the quiet, but the quiet kept me good. There's blood under the quiet, there's dust inside my soul, but I am not the sorrow that tried to make me cold. So let me walk the old road slow, with all the things I'll never show. I may be worn, but I am true. I made it farther than I knew. And if the silence speaks my name, I won't answer it with shame. There's blood beneath this quiet wood, but the quiet kept me good. hands don't shake from age alone. They shake from things I've carried home, from names I buried, debts I paid, from all the roads where I once strayed. These hands have held a mother's grief, a father's tools, a child's belief. They've closed some doors, they've dug some ground. They've held me up when I went down. Nobody sees what hands have known when a man has stood too long alone. But every line across my skin knows where the dark has been. Quiet hands carry heavy things, broken prayers and wedding rings. Quiet hands do what hearts can't say. They hold the night till it turns to day. I fixed a fence in freezing rain with old regret behind my name. I washed the blood from my own sleeve, then learned there's more than one way to grieve. I held my face and did not cry when the last truck pulled out of sight. Some goodbyes don't make a sound, they just leave dust upon the ground. They call me cold, they call me still, but they never saw the iron will. A man can break and still remain with quiet hands around his pain. Quiet hands carry heavy things, broken prayers and wedding rings. Quiet hands do what hearts can't say. They hold the night till it turns to day. I don't need these hands made clean. They have touched what life can mean. Dirt and sorrow, bread and loss, a working man's unspoken cross. If they tremble when I stand, let them tremble where I am. They have earned the right to show every mile they had to know. Quiet hands carry heavy things, broken prayers and wedding rings. Quiet hands do what hearts can't say. They hold the night till it turns to day. Quiet hands worn by time and flame still reach for morning all the same. So when my story leaves my chest and I lay these old bones down to rest, don't speak of all I failed to be, just lay my hands across me. They did not save the whole wide land, they did not always understand, but they held on when hope was thin and carried me back home again. I slept beside an empty chair with old smoke hanging in the air. The clock kept moving on the wall like it never knew I lost it all. There was a picture by the bed of younger eyes and words unsaid. I touched the frame and let it be. Some ghosts still sit too close to me. I thought the night would close my eyes and leave no room for one more rise. But somewhere under all that gray, my breathing made it to the day. When the morning found me, I was still alive, with dust on my sorrow and tears I couldn't hide. When the morning found me, I had nothing left to prove, just one more broken heartbeat, still trying to move. A new man who never came back from the bottle or the railroad track. They didn't fall with the battle cry, they just got tired and closed their eyes. I nearly joined them more than once, with empty hands and hollow lungs, but something small inside my chest would not lie down and take its rest. No preacher called, no angels came, no holy fire, no healing rain, just a little light across the floor and my old boots beside the door. When the morning found me, I was still alive, with dust on my sorrow and tears I couldn't hide. When the morning found me, I had nothing left to prove, just one more broken heartbeat, still trying to move. Maybe strength is not a shout, maybe faith is wearing out, maybe courage has no sound when it lifts you from the ground. I don't know why I stayed, I don't know what debt I paid, but I know the dark passed through, and I was still in the room. When the morning found me, I was still alive, with dust on my sorrow and tears I couldn't hide. When the morning found me, I had nothing left to prove, just one more broken heartbeat, still trying to move. When the morning found me, I was not the same, but I held on to something the dark could never name. So let the day come slowly, let the old hurt take its time. I've made it through the shadow with no reason and no sign. If they ask what saved me, I won't dress it up with pride. The morning simply found me, and I was still alive. never prayed with pretty words, just broken ones the night once heard. Hands together, head hung low, asking where the lost men go. I had dust inside my lungs, had old regrets beneath my tongue, had a heart that beat too slow from carrying what no one knows. Nobody saw me on my knees, nobody heard those silent pleas. But somewhere past my last defense, there was prayer in a tired man's chest. There's a prayer in a tired man's chest when the road gets long and the soul needs rest. It ain't loud, it don't shine, it just keeps him alive one more time. There's a prayer where the pain won't sleep, where the old wounds cut too deep. I lost my way, but heaven knows a tired man still has a soul. I watched my mother fold her hands beside a stove and empty cans. She never asked for more than bread, but carried storms inside her head. My father spoke in working scars and unpaid debts and falling stars. He never said that he was scared, but I saw God inside his stare. I learned that faith ain't always bright. Sometimes it crawls through one more night. Sometimes grace is just a breath inside a man who ain't quit yet. There's a prayer in a tired man's chest when the road gets long and the soul needs rest. It ain't loud, it don't shine, it just keeps him alive one more time. There's a prayer where the pain won't sleep, where the old wounds cut too deep. I lost my way, but heaven knows a tired man still has a soul. I don't know what saved me then. Maybe mercy, maybe sin, maybe just the morning light finding me after the fight. But I stood up slow and breathed, with nothing left but what believed. Not in gold, not in fame, just one more day to say my name. There's a prayer in a tired man's chest when the road gets long and the soul needs rest. It ain't loud, it don't shine, it just keeps him alive one more time. There's a prayer where the pain won't sleep, where the old wounds cut too deep. I lost my way, but heaven knows a tired man still has a soul. There's a prayer in the hands that shake, in the hearts that bend but do not break. I lost my home, I lost my best, but kept a prayer in a tired man's chest. So let the evening take its time, let the old road cross the line. I have been low, but not erased. I have seen sorrow face to face. And if tomorrow lets me rise with quiet tears behind my eyes, I'll walk again like all the rest, with a prayer in a tired man's chest.
Scars don't leave a man. I got scars beneath my shirt from years that knew just where to hurt. Some came fast and some came slow. Some are names I don't let go. I got lines around my eyes from holding back too many cries. I got hands that shake at night from holding wrong and losing right. I used to think the pain would pass like rain across the window glass, but some things stay beneath the skin and teach you how to live again. Scars don't leave a man, they just learn to hide. They sit beneath the silence and walk there by his side. Scars don't leave a man, but they can show him where he's been. I carry every wound I have and somehow still begin. I had love I couldn't keep, had promises I buried deep. Had a brother, had a friend, had some roads that had to end. There are things I won't explain, there are rooms still full of rain. There are words I never said, still sleeping heavy in my head. They told me time would make me whole, but time just taught me self-control. I didn't heal the way they planned, I just became a quieter man. Scars don't leave a man, they just learn to hide. They sit beneath the silence and walk there by his side. Scars don't leave a man, but they can show him where he's been. I carry every wound I have and somehow still begin. I don't curse the marks I wear, they prove that I was really there. In the fire, in the loss, in the debt and in the cost. If I look tired, let it be. There are miles inside of me, but I have learned what pain can do. It breaks you down and builds you true. Scars don't leave a man, they just learn to hide. They sit beneath the silence and walk there by his side. Scars don't leave a man, but they can show him where he's been. I carry every wound I have and somehow still begin. Scars don't leave a man, but they don't own his soul. They carved away the softer parts and left the truth below. So if you see me standing still, looking past the farthest hill, no, I'm not lost inside the pain. I'm only listening to my name. Every mark and every line, every road I left behind, made me more than what I planned. Scars don't leave a man. Scars don't leave a man. There were words I never gave, now they sleep beside a grave. There were tears I held too long, till they turned into this song. I had love I could not show, had a heart that moved too slow, had a mouth that closed with pride, while the best of me stayed inside. Nobody teaches boys to bleed, or say the things their fathers need, so I kept quiet day by day, with what I could not say. What I could not say stayed with me, like an old locked door, like a fallen tree. What I could not say still calls my name. I lost the chance, but I carry the flame. I should have told my mother more before the silence closed the door. Should have held my father's hand, told him I could understand. But men like us don't speak that way. We hide the hurt and face the day. Then years go by and all we own is an empty chair and a telephone. I thought my heart was made of stone, till I had to miss them both alone. Now every night kneels down to pray for what I could not say. What I could not say stayed with me, like an old locked door, like a fallen tree. What I could not say still calls my name. I lost the chance, but I carry the flame. Heaven has a kitchen light and a porch beneath the quiet night. Maybe they can hear me now, though I don't know when or how. I loved you more than I could prove. I was just too scared to move, and every road I walk today carries what I could not say. What I could not say stayed with me, like an old locked door, like a fallen tree. What I could not say still calls my name. I lost the chance, but I carry the flame. love someone tonight. Don't wait for the morning light. Don't let pride take one more day from what your heart should say. I learned too late, but learned it true. Silence takes a part of you, and all the years won't wash away what I could not say. I used to think the silence came to bury what was left of my name. It filled the house, it filled the road, it sat beside the debts I owed. But silence never raised a hand, never asked me to explain the man. It never laughed at where I'd been, it only let me breathe again. Nobody knew what I became when I stopped fighting all that pain. But in the dark where voices fade, I found what the silence saved. What the silence saved was the last of me. A tired heart, a little dignity. What the silence saved was a breath I gave away when the world got loud and hard. The quiet let me stay. I had a love I couldn't hold, a bed that turned to winter cold, a friend who left when times got thin, a prayer I never finished in. I wore the years like second skin, letting all the weather in. Some men get loud when they feel small. I went quiet through it all. They thought my silence meant defeat, like I had fallen at their feet. But silence held me like a grave, then gave me back what it could say. What the silence saved was the last of me. A tired heart, a little dignity. What the silence saved was a breath I gave away when the world got loud and hard. The quiet let me stay. Quiet let me stay. I don't need to tell it all, every room and every fall. Some truths live beneath the tongue, some songs stay forever unsung. If I speak less than before, it's because I listen more, and what I heard beneath the pain was my own heart call my name. What the silence said was the last of me. A tired heart, a little dignity, yeah. What the silence said was a breath I gave away when the world got loud and hard. The quiet let me stay. What the silence saved was the man I nearly the quiet walk with me, like an old friend patiently. I won't curse the empty space. It gave my broken soul a place. No bright salvation, no parade, no golden door, no debt repaid. Just one more morning softly made by what the silence saved. There was a room I couldn't leave, with old dust sitting on my sleeve. A chair, a floor, a window frame, and every wall knew my name. I kept my coat beside the door, like I might walk out once more. But some roads live inside your chest, and some old pain won't let you rest. Nobody knew how long I stayed, talking low to yesterday. But every night I stayed alive was one more reason to survive. The room I couldn't leave held the worst of me. It knew the man I was when I could barely breathe. The room I couldn't leave kept my sorrow near, but I walked out slowly after all those years. Mama's voice was in the hall, though she was not there at all. Daddy's boots beneath the stairs still looked like he had just been there. I found old letters in a drawer. I read the first line, then no more. Some memories don't cut like knives, they just sit down and stay alive. I thought that grief would turn to stone if I kept facing it alone. But something soft beneath the floor said, son, you can open that door. The room I couldn't leave held the worst of me. It knew the man I was when I could barely breathe. The room I couldn't leave kept my sorrow near, but I walked out slowly after all those years. I don't hate the place I broke. It was there when no one spoke. It held my silence without shame and never asked me to explain. Maybe healing starts that way, and not with life, but with one day, when your hand can touch the frame and leave the room that held your pain. The room I couldn't leave held the worst of me. It knew the man I was when I could barely breathe. The room I couldn't leave
but I am not trapped inside it. I made it back alive.
So let the window gather rain, let the floor remember pain. I won't curse what carried me through the nights I couldn't see. I closed the door and kept the key for the broken part of me. Not to go back, not to grieve, just to know I learned to leave. I woke up before the daylight came, with yesterday still in my name. Coffee cold and hands unclean from holding on to what I'd seen. There's a weight behind a quiet face, a kind of hurt that leaves no trace. You learn to smile, you learn to nod, and carry things you don't tell God. Nobody asked how deep it goes when a man keeps wearing his old clothes. Nobody sees the hidden cost of holding everything he lost. A man can only carry so much before his hands begin to shake, before the road beneath his feet starts asking what it takes. A man can only carry so much, but still he carries on with a broken prayer inside his chest and a heart that won't be gone. I watched my father bend with years, never showing half his fears. He kept his sorrow folded tight, worked it down by candlelight. Mama knew but never said. She just bowed her silver head. Some homes don't break with falling beams, they're breaking small and silent things. I used to think I'd be more free than all the men who came before me. But blood remembers, roots run deep, and some old wounds refuse to sleep. A man can only carry so much before his hands begin to shake, before the road beneath his feet starts asking what it takes. A man can only carry so much, but still he carries on with a broken prayer inside his chest and a heart that won't be gone. I don't need the world to know how far a tired soul can go. I don't need a crown or sign to prove this pain's mine. If I lay it down someday, let the dirt take what it may. But until that morning comes, I'll carry what I've become. A man can only carry so much before his hands begin to shake, before the road beneath his feet starts asking what it takes. A man can only carry so much, but still he carries on with a broken prayer inside his chest and a heart that won't be gone. A man can only carry so much and somehow still survives with all that weight beneath his ribs and quiet in his eyes. Let the evening settle slow, let the long road take me home. I have been bent by grief and dust. A man can only carry so much. I woke up with the same old weight, same old coffee, same old ache, same old boots beside the door, same old road asking for more. There was dust on the window frame, dust on a picture with my name, dust on the dreams I used to trust, and one more day of dust. Nobody calls it bravery when you live what no one sees. But every morning I stand up with one more day of dust, one more day of dust. One more mile to go, one more tired heart, moving quiet and slow. One more prayer unsaid, one more road to trust. I'm still alive. seen strong men lose their hands to empty work in bitter land. I've seen good wives hide their tears behind the dishes and the years. I've seen love turn thin and pale like old paint on a broken rail. But even when the shine is gone, something plain keeps moving on. I used to wait for saving grace, like thunder rolling through this place. Now I know grace can be small, just standing after the fall. One more day of dust, one more mile to go, one more tired heart, moving quiet and slow. One more prayer unsaid, one more road to trust. I am still alive in one more day of dust. I don't need the sky to break, I don't need the earth to shake, I don't need a holy sign to make this sorrow mine. Just give me enough morning light to make it through another night. Just give me breath when hope feels thin, and I will start again. One more day of dust, one more mile to go, one more tired heart, moving quiet and slow. One more prayer unsaid, one more road to trust. I am still alive in one more day of dust, one more day of dust. But dust is not the end, it settles on the broken things and lets them rise again. So let the dirt stay on my shoes, let the old road bring its news. I have lost more than enough, but I am made of stubborn stuff. If tomorrow comes the same, with no clean sky and no new name, I'll lift my head because I must, and walk one more day of dust. Could have left when the roof came down, could have cursed that dying town, could have laid my name to rest with all the things I never said. But there were fields behind my eyes and old hands teaching me to try. There was a chair my father made and a debt my heart still paid. Nobody called me brave back then, nobody knew the shape I was in. I just held on through the gray and became the man who stayed. I am the man who stayed when the good years went away. house grew cold and the sky turned clay, I am the man who stayed with a tired heart and empty hands. I lost more than I can say, but I'm still where I stand. Mama's voice still fills the hall, though no one lives there now at all. Daddy's coat still hangs in place like time forgot to take his shape. I watched the seasons thin the land, watched hope slip through a working hand. Some men run from what they know, some plant roots where sorrow grows. They said the road would set me free, but the road looked back and spoke to me. Freedom ain't always far away, sometimes it's learning how to stay. I am the man who stayed when the good years went away, when the house grew cold and the sky turned clay. I am the man who stayed with a tired heart and empty hands. I lost more than I can say, but I'm still where I stand. Staying heals, I don't know what mercy feels, but I know these broken boards held my grief and something more. Every nail and every scar, every night beneath these stars told me pain can pass through bone and still not take you home. I am the man who stayed when the good years went away, when the house grew cold and the sky turned clay. I am the man who stayed with a tired heart and empty hands. I lost more than I can say, but I'm still where I stand. I am the man who stayed, not because I never cried, but because something in this place kept one light alive. So let the porch keep leaning low, let the weeds around it grow. I have been bent but not betrayed, I know why I stayed. No crown, no song, no holy flame, just old wood calling out my name. And if the world forgets my face, this ground will know the man who stayed. The years went by without a sound, like old leaves falling to the ground. No great storm, no sudden flame, just little losses with my name. I watch my hands grow rough and slow, watch the boy in me let go. He didn't leave with one last cry, he faded quiet behind my eyes. Nobody heard what time can do, when it takes the softest part of you. But somewhere in that silent grief, I found a heart, a kind of peace. The years didn't speak, but they told me enough. They taught me how to carry pain when carrying got rough. The years didn't speak, but they carved me deep. I lost the man I thought I'd be and found one I could keep. Mama's voice still comes around when the house gets too quiet now. Daddy's shadow by the door still asks me what I'm working for. I've had love that couldn't stay, had faith that nearly walked away, had mornings where my tired chest felt too heavy to confess. They said the pain would pass in time, like rivers crossing county lines. But some old hurt don't ever leave, it only teaches you to breathe. The years didn't speak, but they told me enough. They taught me how to carry pain when carrying got rough. The years didn't speak, but they carved me deep. I lost the man I thought I'd be and found one I could keep. I don't need a reason now for every scar and every vow. Some things come and take their due and leave a quieter truth in you. If I seem far away sometimes, I'm counting old fault lines. Not to break, not to stay, just to know I found my way. The years didn't speak, but they told me enough. They taught me how to carry pain when carrying got rough. The years didn't speak, but they carved me deep. I lost the man I thought I'd be and found one I could keep. The years didn't speak, but I heard them still in the empty rooms, in the evening chill. So let the old days settle down like dust outside a dying town. I won't ask them to return. I know what loss was meant to burn. I have been changed by what I knew, by every road I stumbled through. The years stayed quiet, dark and steep, but they gave me one soul to keep. There's old wood beneath my feet. It knows the sound of tired dreams. It heard my father close the door, too worn to ask for anything more. It heard my mother softly pray when supper stretched another day. It heard the rain, it heard my name. It held the house through old wood pane. A home can hurt and hold you still, like roots wrap around a stubborn hill. I left that place, but all the same, I still carry old wood pain. Old wood, old pain still remembers me. Every nail, every board, every family tree. Old wood, old pain in the walls and rain. I walked away from that house, but not from what it gave. There's a window facing west, where the sunset used to rest. I stood there young and full of plans, with the whole world in my hands. Now I know what years can do. They take the many, leave the few. They leave a chair, a coat, a stain, in rooms that whisper old wood pain. I thought that leaving meant I'd heal, but some things follow what you feel. Some doors close, some still remain inside your chest, like old wood pain. Old wood, old pain still remembers me. Every nail, every board, every family tree. Oh, wood, old pain in the walls and rain. I walked away from that house, but not from what it gave. I don't curse the place I knew. It did the best that it could do. It kept us warm when times were thin. It let the broken people in. If I return with tired eyes, it ain't to ask the past why. It's just to stand there once again and thank the house that held my pain. Old wood, old pain still remembers me. Every nail, every board, every family tree. Old wood, old pain in the walls and rain. I walked away from that house, but not from what it gave. Never ran away. So let the porch lean toward the ground, let the empty room sleep sound. I'll leave my hand upon the frame and speak the old house by its name. No bright light, no holy chain, just what remains after the rain. A man, a door, a weathered grain. Old wood, old pain. Watch the barn fall piece by piece. Watch the weeds grow through the peas. What fire took and rain forgot became the ground beneath my lot. I held old letters in my hand, names that time could not withstand. Some turned yellow, some turned thin, some still hurt to read again. I used to think what burns is gone, nothing left to stand upon. But under every blackened mile, the earth was working all the while. Ashes make the soil where the hard roots grow. What the fire takes away, the quiet ground still knows. Ashes make the soil for a tired heart to stand. I lost what I loved, but I became a man. There was a field behind our home where my father walked alone. He never said what made him stay, he just worked the pain away. Mama kept the curtains clean, like sorrow was a private thing. She taught me grief can still be kind if you don't let it rule your mind. Now I carry what they knew, and every hard day I get through. Not every loss will leave you whole, but some will plant a deeper soul. Ashes make the soil where the hard roots grow. What the fire takes away, the quiet ground still knows. Ashes make the soil for a tired heart to stand. I lost what I loved, but I became a man. I don't ask to get it back, I don't curse the smoke black past. Some things leave so truth can stay, some things die to clear the way. If I've been beside the field, it ain't because I never healed. I'm just thanking what was burned for every lesson that returned. Ashes make the soil where the hard roots grow. What the fire takes away, the quiet ground still knows. Ashes make the soil for a tired heart to stand. I lost what I loved, but I became a man. Ashes make the soul under every scar. They turn a broken yesterday into something living in the dark. So let the field remember me as more than what I failed to be. Let the rain come soft and slow, let the buried things still grow. I am not the fire spoil, I am not the grief I hold. What burned down made something whole. Ashes make the the soil. I used to laugh with my head thrown back, before the world found every crack, before the bills, before the rain, before I learned the shape of pain. I had a shirt my father wore, hanging by the bedroom door. Smelled like working old machine, like all the things he never dreamed. Nobody tells you growing old will make a warm heart turn to cold. But somewhere under what I lost, I found the man beneath the cost. And this is what the years did to me. They bent my back and bruised my soul. They took the boys with me and left a man who still walks slow. This is what the years did to me. They carved my name in quiet stone, but I'm on what they took. I am still here, still going home. I watched love leave without a fight, just packed its things and killed the light. I watched hope sit by the wall, too tired to answer when I called. There are roads that don't forgive. There are days you only live, not because the sky is clear, but because you're still here. They saw my face and called me cold, but they never knew the weight I hold. Some men learn to hide the flame when the fire becomes their name. This is what the years did to me. They bent my back and bruised my soul. They took the boy I used to be and left a man who still walks slow. This is what the years did to me. They carved my name in quiet stone, but I am more than what they took. I am still here, still going home. I don't blame the falling leaves, I don't curse what had to leave. Some things break so truth can show, some men hurt so they can grow. If my eyes look far away, I am counting yesterday. Not to live there, not to stay, just to know I found my way. This is what the years did to me. They bent my back and bruised my soul. They took the boy I used to be and left a man who still walks slow. This is what the years did to me. They carved my name in quiet stone, but I am more than what they took. I am still here. This is what the years did to me. They made my silence deep and wide, but every breath I carry now is proof I did not die inside. So let the evening settle down, let
the old road leave this town, I will walk with what remains. Through the dust and through the pain, no bright crown waits for me, no clean road that I can see. Just these hands and memories, and what the years did to me.